and it was delicious. The perfect balance: cinnamon, apples, and squash. The kind of perfect that you want to write down in your recipe book. Okay, so Firelighting 101. I am freezing this morning, so I'm going to try and make a fire. I always keep cardboard boxes or newspapers because I know they always come in handy when you want to light a fire. So I have this old shoebox and old newspapers. So you take some of these, whatever burns quickly, cardboard and newspapers are perfect. I could use kindling, but that's just not what we do, but you can definitely do that. But we always have cardboard boxes at hand, so. Then I have this basket of small, middle-sized wood logs. So you put a few on top of the cardboard and the newspapers, crisscrossed, so that your fire can breathe. Then I add a bigger log on top. So we use these little cubes, fire lighters, natural fire lighters. I put 2 or 3 at the base, close to the small logs. Then you can light your fire. It should work. It looks like it's working. Okay, so I thought I would take this morning to talk to you a little bit about books. I don't make a lot of book recommendations, but there's a few books I want to talk about. Books that I have read, books that I'm currently reading, and some books that I plan to read soon. But first I would like to make myself a pumpkin chai tea. I bought this yesterday. Just look at the box. The box itself is lovely. Ayurvedic blends. That's Yogi Tea is an organic Ayurvedic brand, and this is the first time I have bought. This is my first time trying pumpkin chai. And this one is delicious. I don't let it infuse too long. Ayurvedic blends are very, very strong, and I'm not a fan when it becomes too strong. So I only let it infuse for about 10 seconds. Usually that's enough for me. And I add a little bit of honey, my rose honey that I was given the other day. And I like to add a little bit of milk as well. makes it softer, because spices can be very strong. So just a little bit of milk. And to be honest, I had my doubts at first, but it is very yummy. Very, very good. You can definitely feel the pumpkin. Okay, so some of you have reacted to the book that I've shown you in one of my previous videos, The Forgotten Witch by Jessica Dodge. It's a fantasy novel, fantasy romance. Honestly, I don't read it for the romance. I read it mostly for the ambience. It's very well illustrated. Let me show you the illustrations. Lovely illustrations at the beginning and at the end of every chapter. That's the kind of detail that I love when I'm reading a book. I like it to be visual. So this is, I bought this book after I had been very disappointed by another novel. I'm usually not very much of a novel reader. I read other types of books, but not a lot of novels. But I had read a novel this summer, and it disappointed me so much that I needed to move on to another novel, something that was a little bit lighter, easier to read, happier, a book with a happy ending, and I think that this one is going to have a happy ending. I'm not sure yet, but most likely. This is easy to read. It's not big literature, but it's very, very pleasant to read, very easy to read, very entertaining, and you know, lots of descriptions about Scotland, because the story unfolds in Scotland. It's about a Scottish witch. You know, the author mentions a lot of cozy moments by the fire with a coffee or a good book or a storm raging outside. So everything to make you have a good moment. The type of book that you should read at night. This is just my opinion, because there's a lot of things that happen at night here. I've not finished reading it yet, but I definitely will. A really nice moment of escapism, and that's what I needed after that horrible book that I read last summer. I'm not even gonna say which book it was. It's not really the point. Actually, when I'm reading a novel, there's one thing that I absolutely want. I need a happy ending. It may be silly, but I need for a book to have a happy ending. There is enough sad endings and sad things happening in real life. The last thing I need when I need a novel is a sad ending. You get used to the characters, you get used to the story, they even sort of almost become a part of your life. And when you reach the end of the book, if there is a sad ending or the characters die or whatever that is, something that is very, very sad, personally, I feel like I have lost someone every time this happens. I feel almost traumatized somehow. It may be strong, but that book, I thought about it for weeks after reading it, and it was traumatizing for me. I couldn't stop thinking about that ending, and I knew it was just a novel. I knew the characters did not exist. But I was so disappointed. I enjoyed it a lot. The reading of the book was really, really interesting. So that was all the more sad and traumatizing for me when I reached the end of the book. So now when I choose a novel, I choose stories that are easy to read and that will most likely have a happy ending. And if I have to read the end before I read the book, then I will. If I have any doubts, I will first read the end before I can read the book. I want to enjoy the journey. I want to enjoy the ambience. It's very, very important for me. But I also need a happy ending. I need to know that it's going to have a happy ending. So books that are overly dramatic are not for me anymore. So this is a very light read, and honestly, very, very cozy. I doubt it will have a sad ending. If any one of you has read it, please let me know if it has a happy ending, but I have a very good feeling about it. The Wild Remedy is a book I haven't read yet, by Emma Mitchell. It's about nature, basically. It's about a woman who has gone through hard things, who has gone through depression, and who is trying to reconnect to nature in order to reconnect with her health. And this is about her reconnection with nature. It's very well illustrated, beautiful hand-drawn illustrations by the author herself. It seems to be very poetic, so I can't wait to start reading it. It's not a novel. Any book about nature and reconnection with nature is important to me. Those books are precious and should be read by everyone. Hildegard von Bingen, a Middle Ages woman, author, medicine woman. She was a lot of things, and she wrote about plants. You've seen me read this book before. Beautiful illustrations again. This is all about how to use plants for medicinal purposes. I haven't finished it yet. It's huge. It's like a big, big book. It's really interesting to see how she saw things and what she knew back then in the Middle Ages about plants, and how to apply this knowledge today, and how little has changed actually. So that's really, really interesting. You don't read it like a novel. You open it from time to time whenever you need pieces of information about a plant. Precious, precious book if you're interested in plants and medicinal properties of plants. A different type of book, but also about plants. Don't be put off by the title. Wild Witchcraft by Rebecca Beyer. So this one is also about plants, but more from a spiritual point of view. Folk herbalism, garden magic, and foraging for spells, rituals, and remedies. Witchcraft is wild at heart, calling us into relationship with the untamed world around us. Through developing a connection with plants and by authentically interacting with the earth, a witch can practice their art more deeply. Bridging the gap between modern practitioners and the hedge witches of old, Wild Witchcraft will empower you to work directly with a wide variety of plants and trees, safely and sustainably. So the author, Rebecca Beyer, is an Appalachian witch. This is about Appalachian magic, witchcraft. Again, don't be put off by the word witchcraft. This is mostly about herbalism and how to use plants for your spiritual purposes and to feel better. Hildegard von Bingen's book is about medicinal properties of plants from a medicinal, scientific standpoint, and this one is about the spiritual properties of plants. They complement each other very well, and there's also a lot of beautiful illustrations here. The Wheel of the Year. A beautiful pagan Wheel of the Year, as well as beautiful illustrations of plants. well, same. I haven't finished it yet, but I have read several pages whenever I need informations on plants. The plants that I mentioned here are very common. You can find them very easily. Most of them are wild plants, so it definitely comes in handy. I've been very interested in Feng Shui lately. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Feng Shui is a Chinese way of thinking, way of living, about how to harmonize the energies of a home with the way you place your pieces of furniture, the items that you choose to decorate your home. It can also be about essential oils and smells and how you can use those smells to strengthen the energies of a room and to feel better. And I have read this one. It's a very good one. There's a lot of books. It's not so much about this one. This one is in French, so I'm not expecting a lot of you to read it. There's a lot of books about Feng Shui that have been written in English. I strongly encourage you to read books about Feng Shui because you may realize that there's a few changes that you need to make in your home. Small changes that will help you feel better, feel more comfortable in your home, and you will realize the importance of the placement of things, furniture, the shapes of things, how it can influence your mood, how you feel in your house, and that if you feel good in your house, there's not a lot of things to change, but if there's a room, a part of your house that you don't feel good in, you should definitely try and change a thing or two, and Feng Shui can be helpful if you need to make changes. And this one mentions the importance of essential oils in relation with Feng Shui, and I am very much into essential oils, so if they can help me feel better in my home, why not? The Will by Jennifer Lee is another one I want to talk to you about. So, one winter, Jennifer Lane reached breaking point in her fast-paced, screen-based office life. In the year that followed her stress-related illness, she set out to rediscover the solace and purpose that witchcraft had given her as a teenager. The Will is an immersive, engaging read, exploring the powerful draw of witchcraft and our vulnerability to toxic working environments and digital demands. In her year-long journey, Jennifer explores ancient festivals and rituals and visits fellow pagans and wild landscapes in search of wisdom and peace. For those who are sick at heart of noise, anger, and disconnection, the Will is full of wise words, crackling rituals, and wild beauty. This is a quest to discover how to live a grounded, less anxious life, charged with the natural energy, strength, and joy. How to be in tune with seasons, pagan rituals, and ancient festivals, while living firmly in the 21st century. I still haven't read it, but it's written like a memoir somehow. It kind of almost looks like, it looks a little bit like the White Remedy memoir, testimony about reconnection with nature. So if you guys have read any of those, please let me know what you thought and whether or not I should read them. But any book that reconnects, that helps me reconnect with nature even more, okay, fine by me. Luna by Tamara Driessen. If you're interested in the moon, this is a very good book. I have read the French translation, but it's been written by an American. So this is a book that is between an astrology book and a self-care, well-being book. It gives you tips on how to use the different phases of the moon to feel better and to practice self-care and well-being. So a lot of tips on simple practices. If you're interested in the moon, this is probably the one to read. Beautiful illustrations. I've written down a few things on this one. I don't know if you guys remember, a while ago I shared a simple moon ritual here on this channel. It was partly inspired by this book. I created it, but it was partly inspired by it. So it's about gratitude, positive affirmations, moon bath, moon rituals, meditations, whatever you can do at different phases, during the different phases of the moon. It's more about self-care. So even if you're not really very much into astrology, don't be afraid. It's more about self-care than astrology. That's what I liked about it. So that was just a little tour of some of the recent books that I've read or that I plan on reading. I realized that there's a few more books that I would like to talk about, but it would be a very long video, so I'll talk about those books when I've read them. It will probably be better. This is delicious. Really, really good. Pumpkin, cinnamon, ginger, star anise, cloves, vanilla, orange, nutmeg,
I wish you all a spooky and sweet Halloween. I'll see you in November.